What's going on YouTube? Kronos here and welcome back to another PSO2 video. So today's video we're going to be going over the new event that we got, basically the anniversary event we got over in PSO2. But before we jump into that, guys, if you're new to the channel, my name is Krono. I primarily cover PSO2 content. Would much appreciate a subscribe as we work our way towards that 10k mark, hopefully by the end of the year. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this. So I've had enough time to kind of mess around with the anniversary event, take a look at all the rewards. If you guys saw from the most recent video, the rewards are pretty freaking dope. But the anniversary event, I met with a bit of mixed feelings. So just kind of give an idea of what the anniversary event basically is. We've got some new mining nodes to pick up, which are fantastic. If you haven't seen the new randomite nodes, they give so many materials and it looks like they reset on a weekly basis. So those are super awesome. And it's not too overbearing because it's once a week and you get a ton of materials from doing it. If it was daily, it'd be kind of crazy with how many materials you actually get, and it'd be a bit overbearing because they're in every single zone and you really want to pick them up, especially if you're still grabbing photon scales like myself on the side just to upgrade any sync weapons, which we'll talk more about why that's really not a huge deal. People have kind of been saying, why even bother upgrading your sync weapon? It's a long story, but we'll talk about that in a different video. Anyway, as far as the anniversary event goes, how do I feel about it so far? Well, like I said, it's a bit of mixed feelings. The rewards are freaking awesome. The new mission that's popped up is actually really fun to do. It's an instance mission, which I like instance missions a lot. It speaks to where they decide certain enemies should be spawned. You can have a little bit of randomness in them, like certain enemy spawns. It looks like this time around they decided not to do that, which I would have been okay with if they had options of certain enemy types spawning in certain areas, but it is the first of its type, so it's going to be usually fairly bare bones, fairly simplistic before they kind of reinvent the wheel, so to speak. And what was I going with that thought process? My apologies. So the mission itself is pretty cool. The spawns are, they're static, they're always the same, but they're designed for where they show up, right? The enemies that we get together are designed to show up together, and the fights that we get are actually pretty fun to deal with. The issue I have with it is actually the method of farming right now and the rewards for the new mission. So if you guys saw the recent NGS headline, you would have seen that they talked about the survey results, and a very consistent thing across the board happens to be rewards. Rewards from urgent quests as well as rewards from other pieces of content like the Trinitas aren't really fantastic. Players are really not happy with how many rewards we're getting or how useful those rewards are. Now, I have, of course, a little bit of a differing opinion on rewards themselves. It's kind of a delicate balance where if rewards are too great, then things are fairly cheap and you really can't make any money. But if rewards aren't good enough, then the content that's required of them is almost not worth it. So it's a very delicate balancing act that needs to happen that I think is currently in the favor of not really worth it. It needs to be balanced a little bit more in the other direction. My biggest problem, I guess, with the current anniversary event, and I hate to say that I have a problem with the anniversary event because everything else about it is really awesome. But my issue with the anniversary event right now is that the new mission is fun, but I don't feel like it's worth doing. And when I say I don't feel like it's worth doing, I was looking at it from the perspective I could think of for anything, right? So we look at it from the perspective of earning seasonal points. Well, unfortunately, it's not good for earning seasonal points. The seasonal point farm is still what the seasonal point farm actually is. It's smashing low-level enemies in a zone that's small enough to be able to one-shot them, get burst very quickly, kill all the enemies in the burst, and move on to the next set. So primarily just in Red Manithole and what's the other one? Labs, basically, where you're one-shotting everything with Zonde or using darts with Ranger. So seasonal point farm, unfortunately, is still the seasonal point farm. And honestly, that's not really all that fun. The only way I can really make seasonal point farming even fun would be leveling other classes. And I was kind of hoping the new mission would be good for that. But from what I tried, a little bit of it, leveling classes in that mission didn't seem super fantastic. Now, I haven't had a lot of time to test every single point. The one spot I think it actually might be really good is in a pain point for the community as far as leveling right now. Between 30 and 36 is kind of a dead spot that's really difficult for a lot of people to level, and the new mission has a level 32 set of enemies. So I feel like that's a really good spot to be in for leveling. However, I haven't had a lot of time to test it because, well, my time for testing has been really, really early in the morning when no one's online currently. So I wasn't able to even get a mission going to see how good those were. At level 45, however, I was able to test and see how much experience I was getting. And it was about, I believe it was like 65k experience per run. Runs being about 8 to 10 minutes roughly. This is, of course, with a full party, no experience buffs or anything along those lines. This is just full party, getting those. Of course, experience buffs will increase that amount by even more. So if we put that up to, how much we'd be getting, you would have to do a little bit of math. So you take the 56k multiplied by 6, which will land you somewhere in the ballpark of, I want to say about 400k. It's like 380, 390, something like that. Math off the top of my head is pretty bad. But anyway, it's going to land you somewhere around the lines of like 400k experience an hour. Now, if you're farming in any of the zones, you'll know that those enemies are level 40, meaning that if you're 45, you're not getting max experience, so your EXP is much lower. So I would say in a situation where you're trying to farm experience and get, let's say, X cubes, this new mission is probably pretty good. But outside of that, realistically, it doesn't seem like it's very much worth it. Even the new captains spawn from trials. They have a rare chance of being able to spawn from the mission itself at the very end, and I have yet to see one pop up. Now, I haven't done a ton of the new mission itself. You're probably seeing it as footage in the background right now, but I haven't done a ton of the new mission, and I have yet to see a captain pop up. So we'll have to see how things go moving forward. I might have a difference of opinion moving on onto later in the actual anniversary event. And there's, of course, still the part 2 of the anniversary event that we haven't gotten yet. So we'll have to see how that fares. But at the moment, I'm a little conflicted. It's hard to say that I absolutely love this anniversary event. It's very good, and it's really good for a lot of reasons. A lot of the rewards are awesome, but this new mission, as much fun as it is to run, I'm having a hard time. I kind of feel like this is the one time where normally I'd be against a one-stop shop mission, where everyone should be doing this one mission and this would be the thing that you should be doing. Normally I'm against it. The one time it should definitely exist is during events. Events should 100% have one-stop shop missions, especially in the case of like leveling. It's right before the new release of a new zone. Helping people push forward to getting leveled up is a fantastic time for it, and it's a good reason to get people to come back and play the game again. Hey, all those classes you wanted to level up, or hey, you know how you're behind on leveling. All of your buddies are already max level. You can jump into this mission and level up very quickly to catch up to all of them for the new region that's going to be coming out. I think that'd be a great way of doing this, and hopefully I'm wrong and this is actually fantastic for leveling, and I just haven't figured out the exact formula of how to do it just yet. But as it stands right now, it hasn't felt really great at the higher levels. Now, I'm only basing this on like a few friends that were trying to level as we were doing it this morning in the 42 to 44 range, 44, 45, that sort of stuff. So maybe it works out being a bit differently in different ranges. Let me know in the comments below, because I would love to be wrong about that, and I really, really want this to be that one-stop shop mission. Hopefully, we see something a bit better in the coming events. But overall, the anniversary event, if I had to give it a number rating, it's an unfortunate 6 out of 10, maybe closer to a 7. Rewards are fantastic. The new mission's really, really fun, but I'm having a hard time finding a spot for it to exist. And the biggest blemish is, unfortunately, farming points, which is one of the most important things in this anniversary event, is still the most boring way of dealing with it to be efficient. So, yeah, anyway, guys, hopefully this isn't too much of a downer. I know I hate having these types of videos, but I do want to give my thoughts very, very quickly early on into the event, because usually I like to wait till there's more information, but if I wait too long, then the video becomes, not really as useful. So I like to get this conversation flowing as soon as possible. Let me know how you guys feel about the event in the comments below, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Take care. Peace out.